Warning, 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 warning. This is a emergency broadcast. Code Red, hold on, Code Red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit the eardrums. Uncle the Podcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name is Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here with me is the star of the show, Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is 203.
Yes,
I'm getting me confused.
203.
203, this episode.
I wonder what Pythagoras would have to say about 2, 0, and 3 together, Uncle.
2003.
Ooh, I love that year.
That's 2003 is this episode.
It is.
Got that sidekick?
I'm trying to internalize that.
Well, we have a situation here.
It's Friday night. It's live on Ocelli.com.
We still have a situation here.
Yeah,
we're
live.
Two problems.
Two.
And we both have them.
We both two problems?
Attitude problems.
Oh, you and I have an attitude problem.
You bitch crazy to my sister that I have to listen for. I don't want to hear it anymore. And I'm trying to do the same.
Okay.
Not to do that anymore.
Okay, so
that is what I'm saving this for.
As listeners might be able to tell here, Uncle has a grievance. The other night, he got a little bit upset at me. Mm-hmm. I was working on the computer. It was at night. You know, the kids were in bed. I was working on the computer. I'll say I was working on material for Uncle's New Year's Revolution. That's what it was. And I was very happy to be by myself and finally working. Nobody was asking me to, like, here, do this, do that. The kids weren't screaming at the top of their lungs. I was like, oh, I can relax. And then, before, out of nowhere, Uncle comes barging into the room, very upset with me. And he goes, and he was mad because I told my wife something that, I was telling my wife something that you did during the day. And then she, just mentioned it to you. And that upset you.
It was about the store that it wasn't true.
Well,
I wasn't on top of the people. I had my mask on.
Now,
that was all.
Uncle, what you're saying is, okay, Uncle's problem is that what I told my wife, in his mind, is not true and did not happen. In my point of view, it doesn't matter if it was true or not. The reason I was upset was that you came barging in upset at me that the one time I really only have during the day to relax. And then you come in all huffy and puffy. And I'll be quite honest, I got incredibly upset and I yelled at you.
Yeah.
And I made you leave.
The sidekick?
Yeah, sidekick. Exactly.
Can you believe it?
But I didn't realize something. After all this going on, I didn't realize he had the same kind of attitude like me.
See, there's...
So we both had the same attitude problem.
Oh, boy.
Similar.
Similar.
I didn't realize that until that happened.
Okay,
surprise.
So surprise on that. Now, listen, I didn't hear you give out the number. Now, I did put down my headphones for a second, but I want to remind people, if they want to help straighten out this attitude problem, they can call in at 319-527-5016. 319-527-5016 is the number to call, or reach out to me on Skype. I am Charles.Ocelli. So, in my producer's role, though, I got to tell you, Uncle, when it comes to attitude problems, you got two guys with Italian blood on with you, because Pearse Redmond is with you as your guest. And,
him too. I meant to ask him. Thank you for being on my show. But now, this is the only thing I just had to get off my mind.
No, it's great, but I'm just saying, two Italians on the line, we might be able to correct an attitude problem. I'm just saying, we might be able to help you out with sidekick over here, or maybe just, correct the whole thing. Depends on who we got to call.
Too? I didn't know that. Okay, let's get at those two to talk then.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
The Italian stallion, Pearse Redmond.
Yeah. Italian stallion is back. What's happening here?
I mean, that's true, right, Pearse?
How long did? I assume, Uncle, you're still feeling aggrieved, but are you going to forgive Aaron? Are you moving on? Are you thinking of a sidekick replacement?
Both of us, if both of us will stop screaming at each other, I'll forget about it. Now it's up to him.
Okay,
sidekick,
Uncle,
it's up to you.
I can agree to these terms.
Okay.
I could sit here and I could defend myself and say, like, well, my point of view is the right one. I don't think I'm going to do that right now. As tempted as I am to do that, I don't think it's necessary. I think the most important thing is
don't scream at each other.
Well, to be honest, I don't know if I can promise that in perpetuity.
That's my problem. So
That's a tall order, though. But Uncle, are you going to tell me you've never yelled at Aaron?
Well, that was the first thing that happened. He came in yelling at me.
I think that was only the first time.
Yeah, pay attention, Pearse. Listen to the story the man told you. Come on now.
Listen to the toy. Other half.
See, I'm with you, Uncle. Go ahead.
Man, this is getting crazy.
I just felt that I was reciprocating the negative energy being blasted my way. And if that came off as confrontational, well, people don't realize this, but I was actually mentioning this to Pearse recently in an email or something. I actually kind of like confrontation.
You do?
Yes, I do.
You were talking about at work. You kind of like it.
Yes, correct.
Like confrontation.
Kind of, yes.
My sister absolutely gets pissed off at it. I'm going to tell you right now. If you're going at her like that, she'll piss back at you. I'm just telling you. I mean, the way she reacts to me, I'm giving you a string warning.
Well,
you do that to her, and you be getting the same treatment.
Let's leave your sister out of this.
Well, this is the only problem is I want to get her clear away from too.
Well, you and her are brother and sister, so that comes with its own set of.
It is.
Well, I mean, that's a certain relationship.
That's got to complicate things, I feel like me and my sister fight in a way that I would never fight with somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
You too?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, it drives me insane. I mean, she is like she just can like get you to she just push. She knows how to push my buttons, and I know how to push hers too.
But every time I say, but what I'm saying, Chuck, I mean, Chili.
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm saying that every time I get that attitude on, she finds it, she sees it, and it explodes. I want to stop the explosion. Okay, that's my point.
So is this your sister pushing the buttons, or is this Aaron pushing the buttons?
Well, the initial grievance that was brought up at the top of the show had nothing to do with your sister. It really didn't. Now we're getting into the territory of daily life, and the brother and the sister end up getting into a lot of fights. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to drag Dana into this. It has nothing to do with her.
Okay.
I'm willing to move on, Uncle. I'm willing to move on. However, I cannot make the promise that I will not get angry again, because I will. And when I do, I'll try to control myself. We'll see what happens.
Just like me.
I feel like and I think this is just because obviously, Aaron, you and I have never yelled at each other really, but I can't picture you yelling in a weird way. You seem so I'm picturing, I have this image of Uncle coming in and confronting you about what happened, and I can hear you yelling, but I'm laughing thinking about it. You know what I mean?
Pearse, you have such a great point here, because it's so hard to imagine hi, I'm Aaron Franz, losing his mind.
I keep thinking of this. This is so stupid. You're probably gonna hate me, Aaron, but there's a Seinfeld where Jerry is dating some woman who's you never get angry, and he's like, I get angry all the time. You know, and I sort of picture you like kind of, you know, like I can't like I mean, this also I'm looking at your Skype profile picture and I'm just sort of thinking of you yelling but like smiling at the same time.
Sometimes I do it that way. Yeah. Other times I don't.
Well, I guess my question is, Uncle, I mean, does Aaron, you know, Aaron can fly off the handle, right?
I've heard it a couple of times, yeah. I mean, he's well, I gotta say he's stronger than me with this kind of attitude.
What does that
holding
mean?
Back,
like I have more of an attitude?
Yeah, I was going to say holding back.
Because heck, I can tell it. Actually, my sister can tell it. Because when they fought at each other, it's just that I just don't want to hear it. Yeah. My point of view, I just don't want to hear it.
Uncle, let's leave Nana out of this.
I know. It's just that
we've had our quarrels as well.
Well, I know.
Uncle,
I mean,
yeah.
That's another point.
All right. Let me ask you a question, Uncle. Here's the thing, right? I'm wondering, just in your mind, right? You know, you sometimes go yelling at. I mean, we've had it on air where you'd be able to sidekick, right?
I've yelled. I admit I have that attitude problem.
Okay,
I know, and it gets to people.
No, I'm just saying you do that sometimes. You get upset, and you maybe yell a little bit, right? Is it because you were shocked that he did it? Like you're used to you doing it once in a while. Okay, everybody goes, all right, it's Uncle. He's going to yell.
That's the answer. That's the question.
Okay.
I'm shocked at him. Because I never knew if anybody can overbeat me until I found that out.
Oh. So when he blew up, it was even bigger than when you blow up. Oh.
Right. So and now that I know, it ends the conversation now. It ends because we are still what they call bullies.
I got you, but you're like a closet rageaholic here, Aaron. That's what that sounds like. Like, I'm real quiet.
Well, my wife describes me as like the quintessential Gemini, where I have like two sides of me. One that's cool, calm, collected, easygoing, and then like at the drop of a hat, the other one comes in, which is quite the opposite.
Nice. So you're exactly the guy on the news that we used to see as kids where it's like, he was a quiet boy until he came home one day and axe murdered his entire family. I'm not saying you would do that. I'm saying that it's like that where it's like, but he was so quiet and we didn't understand. And then all of a sudden just this other Aaron came out. Like literally, you know.
I like to kind of catch people off guard with the.
You enjoy it? Okay.
Yeah, I kind of do. I have to be quite honest. As I was saying, I enjoy confrontation. I enjoy bringing this aspect of me out from time to time, not all the time, mind you. But I feel like I have to. Sometimes I just have to completely lose it, and I do.
Okay.
And when I'm at my best, I control myself very well. Mm-hmm. When I'm at my worst, I lose control.
Well, it's really funny because Pearse brought out a point here where he said, I can't imagine you doing that. And then on top of it, even if you can stretch the imagination and get to Aaron yelling at me, I don't think I could suppress laughter. From what I think.
That's what I mean.
I don't want to wear a puffy shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, I made the comparison of Dr. Venture from the cartoons. Like when he starts like screeching and screaming on there, like I think that would be the worst thing that I would get out of you, and I would laugh. I wouldn't be like, but apparently Uncle actually got to see this and went, whoa. Okay, I'm just checking, right? I mean, is that accurate, or am I reading this wrong?
I gotta admit one thing.
Okay.
I did see him when driving one time. He had his attitude.
Road rage.
Yeah.
Road rage.
It came out. I mean,
driving is a little bit different, though, right? I feel like my father will get. Yeah, I mean, he'll use, curse words and stuff that I've never heard him utter when he's driving.
Yeah. I'm not afraid to get angry even in front of my kids. I've done that driving because I was driving them to school one day and we were going through a rural. It's a semi-rural neighborhood road, just a little side road, really, in the middle of like citrus orchards. So, not really high speeds on these roads, right? And I was in front of this Mercedes-Benz who felt the need to pass me and drive around me like a moron because we immediately just came up to a stop sign right after that. So at the stop sign, I proceeded to open up the window, reach half of my body out of the window, and scream at them, cursing at them. I don't know if I used a curse word, but I think I called them an idiot because my kids were there. I held myself back a bit. And the kids found this very humorous. I was like, well, they were an idiot. They deserved that. That's when somebody is like that, you call them out. So, that's I'll do things like that. And I don't even feel ashamed in doing it. I don't feel like I wronged my children by doing that in front of them. I feel like that was the correct thing to do. It's like, sometimes I yell at people, but only when they deserve it.
Okay, so when properly motivated in your mind, you can be explosive, right?
Yes.
Okay, and apparently so can Uncle. So the two of these things colliding is apparently the issue. See, I'm a weird guy. Like, I've never heard Pearse get angry either, actually. I mean, I've heard him get upset, but I've never heard him, really angry.
I definitely lose my temper, probably more than I should. So yeah, I mean, you could ask Amy. She's definitely heard me get angry.
But that's the funny thing is, I more understand and believe that, although I've never really heard it, than I do with him. See, now everybody would probably think I'd be the loudest thing in the world when I'm angry, right? But I get quiet, and
Yeah, but I can kind of attest to that because I know there are times we've been recording where I knew you were in a bad mood.
Oh yeah,
and you were just sort of like, okay, just you don't say anything.
No, see, but that's the thing is the last thing you'll hear from me if really you incurred my wrath is, did you decide that today is the day to commit suicide? I mean, really? That's that's where I go. So, I mean, I can get explosive too, but it's rare. It's a rare thing. I'm an Aries though, so once I start charging forward, I don't stop. You got the split personality, but I go.
But I'm a Taurus, so
I am too.
Oh, you are, Uncle? When's your birthday?
May 3rd.
Me too.
58.
What?
58.
I'm May 11th.
No. So we're both bulls.
Yes.
Exactly.
Now, a bull and whatever he is, that will attack. Should it? Or shouldn't it?
Well, see,
I guess
I just
so.
wondered.
I guess it does.
See, that's the problem with the bull. You got to understand something, Uncle. See, the bull, you got twins there. There's two of him. He said that, and the Gemini, that's what the deal is. You're the twins. So, they both look the same, but, one of them you could probably charge at all day and beat him up.
That would be me.
Well, but the other one? The other one you might not want to charge at. He might have the sword for you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, a sword. What are you doing, swords? Now he has a sword.
I'm talking bullfighting
I
here.
gotta see these pictures of these things.
I got you, but I'm talking bullfighting here. See, if you're the bull and you're fighting with the twins there, one of those twins, you could probably knock him around, gore him, whatever. The other one, though, you might not want to do that. So I think that's what happened here. And I think Aaron was on the right track because he said, you know what? Why not just let this, whatever it was. Whoever got involved. Let's try and put it aside and move forward and do better in the future. Both of you, though, got to agree to that, right? At least to put your effort there.
Yes.
So I think that's what you were saying. I think Uncle was saying, I'd really like to stop the conversation now and get over it. So I think both of you are kind of agreed there. I mean, Pearse, is this what you're hearing or is it just me?
No, I am hearing this. I'm just sort of Googling Aries and Taurus love compatibility right now.
Well, I'm not looking to date you, Pearse. I'm not looking to date you, okay? Or Uncle, no offense.
For let's get back into another subject. I know
Yeah, please.
But I watching my phone for a minute, and you know the idiot that's doing the White House. Not mention the name.
Don't.
And then mention name.
We won't.
He's shooting this stuff and shooting this stuff and shooting this stuff on in the emailing.
Is this like magic? You're like pointing your fingers like he's doing
at the machine.
It's like he's doing a spell or like
at the machine doing the
tweeting. Of course
he was
tweeting.
tweeting constantly. This man.
Oh yeah.
But the thing I get, Mom, I turn on the thing on my phone, and it's blank. He doesn't even want to see the man.
No more tweeting?
No more man.
No more
face. There's one face shown at him, and then when it comes to him, there's no face.
Oh,
it's completely blank.
Eyes without a face.
I was wondering, on this tweeting deal,
Billy Idol,
do they have a face on him?
You do have an avatar on Twitter. So as you might imagine, Donald Trump's avatar is quite literally a picture of his face, very close up.
What we first see.
Very.
Far too close.
But then we couldn't answer what the questions he was putting down. Didn't have anything. It was blank.
Do you want to see the avatar right now? I'm on Twitter. I can bring it up for you, Uncle. You can see what Donald Trump's face looks like on there.
Oh, we know
it's such a weird.
Like.
His lips look really white.
It's what he says. It's completely blank.
Yes, when you try to analyze it, you realize that it is.
Yeah,
yes.
That's what I'm saying.
If you try to derive any meaning out of the words that he puts on there,
it's just sort of like a beep, sort of.
You make that mistake.
I gotta say, this guy got to get his act together. And
I think it's a bit late for that, Uncle.
What?
For him to get his act together, he's had.
Well, no, he to get out of there.
Years.
To get out of there. Forget about January, whatever it is.
Right.
Just step out of the White House, please, because people are dying. I'm not serious. This is a serious problem.
It is.
People are dying.
You're very serious. Yeah. I'd like to refer people in the chat room back to the Pinhead video that I put because, the quote there is, "I'm so exquisitely empty." So there you go. That's, I think, what they're describing here with the Donald Trump avatar. It's funny, though. A lot of people have copied that avatar and have all sorts of, I don't know if you follow any of the parody accounts, but they've copied it and slightly altered it, some of them, and some of them use just the same picture. It's pretty funny. I don't know if you caught any of those, Uncle, but it is a serious topic, isn't it?
I can't. I was trying to look on my my phone Instagram thing, the pictures on the news thing, and it shows his face in the beginning, but then it goes to what he says. It's all blank.
Wait!
I think they're blocking his stuff.
Correct.
What is that? Why is this?
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Because he's spouting nonsense.
And that's the point. We don't know what he's doing behind doors.
It could contain some false information that requires fact checking.
Oh.
It might. I mean, big surprise there.
I'm going to tell you something else. When he gets to be like us, step him in jail. Because you know what happened? You know what's happening? And I found out on the news.
No, what?
He owes a lot of money.
Oh,
true.
Yeah, of course.
Well, that's why he's trying to get his final swindle out of everybody right now.
He's hiding under being the president. He's hiding under, like you're saying.
He's learned from Steve Bannon how to set up these initiatives or build the wall. Trump's is going to be does he have one yet? If he doesn't, he will. He'll be basically.
Well, he seems to be at the moment right now. All of these donations that he's soliciting for these lawsuits that go nowhere are almost all going into his pocket, or they're going to pay off his debt.
Nice.
So you know what's happening.
Yeah. But Uncle, I agree with you on the that they shouldn't. I think it's stupid to blank his to blank out his tweets.
Right.
Because we should just see what he's saying, not like he's just saying it behind closed doors, sort of in that sense. I mean, let him say it just so we can see what it is, and then say, and debunk it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, I'm there waiting to see, and the thing is going around in circles on my phone. And what the heck is he saying? And I'm looking at it, and it's still doing the tone, not with nothing on it.
Yeah, all the censorship nonsense solves nothing.
I know it doesn't, but the point is, you got him, a man that's leading the country, and this is what's so stupid, and he can't even follow his own footsteps in a way.
Well, yeah. I mean, the fact that any of this is surprising or like something new or shocking is just, to me, it's like, didn't we know this from the start? Didn't we?
That too.
We didn't. Yeah. We couldn't figure out what we were getting ourselves into when this guy was elected.
Right. It's like how. Yeah. It's like, oh, now it's really bad. Suddenly. I
believe I did not vote for him. I don't even think I voted for the other guy either. I didn't get.
You're talking about this year or 4 years ago?
The 4 years ago when he got elected.
Okay.
The 16.
I didn't vote for him either. I didn't vote for anybody.
16, no. And I wasn't actually registered, but with what was going on, it's sort of stupid.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, a real estate hustler from Queens who figured out how to lose money at a casino in Atlantic City. In Atlantic City. I mean, what could go wrong, guys? I mean, really, seriously,
Okay. Washed up reality show star.
We're looking at Random Death Meddler's profile picture now, which is I'm not exactly.
The heck this looks like a
it's from
zombie guy.
Yeah, looks to be from a movie or something. It's a weird character with
his teeth all teared out.
Helmet. Yeah, I don't know what that's from, but Random Death Meddler. Let us know in the chat exactly what that is, and we'll let Uncle know.
And also, give us your Twitter handle if that's your Twitter image. I don't know if I follow you or not. I haven't seen you.
But it
must be interesting.
Oh, yeah. It's a bizarre image. Random Death Meddler. I just love that handle. Random Death Meddler is good. you know it's got to be an interesting person with a name like that.
Oh, yeah, and a big fan of death metal, too, as we found out the other night. As we find out all the time from him. But, quickly, one name I forgot to mention in that Jersey milieu of bands the other night was a band called Human Remains, Random Death Meddler. So there's something big for your shout-out, because you always come through, and I appreciate you, man.
Nice. Yeah, I love the metal shows too. It's been a while since I've been to one of those, but I'd like to go to one just for like old time's sake. Just go back to another death metal show because I've been to quite a number of them. But it's
we can never travel. We can never travel again. We might be able to put together like an all-star band and get together. And like Pearse, do you play an instrument?
No. I attempted in high school to play the guitar, but that was really just a fool's errand.
Yeah, me too. I wound up writing with the guitar, and then somebody decided to pay me for it, and that was the end of that. But bass, drums, vocals, I know Aaron can play guitar well.
I could play drums.
You can play drums?
Enough.
Awesome.
Oh, there we go. We got our band already.
I think we're good to go. But what would the name be?
The name of the band. Oh man, I'd have to think.
Or maybe something like Uncle's.
Uncle and his
sidekick.
And his sidekicks. Uncle and his sidekicks. There we go.
Yeah, we could do that.
That's a death metal sounding name.
We could name it after what's going on right now, and we could talk about Uncle's Explosion. Or we could go Exploding Uncles. Hey, there's one. That's kind of a punk sounding name.
I years ago, I had a bunch of like concept ideas for death metal bands. One of them was like having the hardest, most heavy death metal band like ever, like the music. But then you name the band the Adorable Little Turtle Babies. I always thought that would be hilarious if you did that. And then my other idea was like the band name would be Law of the Jungle. And instead of having a human vocalist, since the death metal vocal sounds like an animal growling, you just play like recordings of animals like tigers and bears going like, roar, and you play the death metal. That's the vocals, it's the sounds of these animals growling. So those are my two death metal band ideas, which were both kind of goofy, but I'm kind of goofy.
I don't know. I'd like to hear what it sounds like.
Anybody here? They seem to have something under control here.
Who?
What I've been listening to, a posting of a shot for 2 shots for people.
Oh,
we talking about the COVID?
The COVID,
vaccines.
the COVID thing. They're getting it tested. They're trying to get it close to testing, behind all this other mess that they're doing, but they're trying to get this organized about this, and what I've heard, and they didn't bring it. They got to bring it to the SCC or whatever that people call.
No, FDA.
FDA, correct.
Yeah, they got to bring it to them.
FDA, yeah.
But so they said it may come out sooner than this year, if it goes through them. That's what I've heard.
Pearse, are you excited about the vaccine?
The vaccine stuff, yeah.
I'm not. I'm a little hesitant. I think I'm just like nervous that like who knows what not so much of the vaccine's like effectiveness, but just that like Trump is who I don't know. He makes me nervous when he's in the mix with it.
Well, Pearse, forget Trump, forget the politics. What people should be weirded out by, and again, I'm an anti-vax guy, but put that aside for a second. This ain't a vaccine. This is a nanoparticle injected with manipulated proteins that they're going to introduce into the body. Literally, I've been looking at the what's publicly available on it, and both Moderna and Pfizer have the same sort of concept here. This is not a typical vaccine. So that's weird to begin with. I'm just saying. I'm throwing it out there.
I think you know what it is. I'm just sort of. I think I'm going to wait a little bit, just because I just don't know. I guess I don't know. I feel like we still don't know enough about what's going on. Like I'll keep wearing my mask. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think of what you just said, Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
It threw me off. I might be a little bit of going to trying it with what you just said. I mean, I didn't hear that part. What you just said.
Well, it's definitely been rushed out.
Rushed out.
The rushed out aspect is what makes me nervous. A little nervous.
Me too. And after what Chuck said, it's sort of.
But Uncle, I think it's going to be longer than even if this comes out, it's not going to be available for everybody.
June and May, they've been saying.
Yeah. So, but see, that to me is at least far enough away that because I'm assuming it's going to be like healthcare workers and other people that are going to use it first. Right, so at least we can have a. We can see.
We see the guinea pigs first.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
A little bit of the stuff. Let them go ahead of us.
Healthcare workers and military personnel, enlisted military personnel. I mean, if you want to talk about guinea pigs, I mean, my gosh.
I'm just saying that's an example.
I mean, it's sad,
they get
but it's
every
true.
Weird thing.
Oh yeah, and they just have to say yes, sir, yes, sir.
Exactly. Yeah.
There is no if you even think about saying no. I mean, you're dishonorably discharged in a moment flat. Yeah.
Well, you are by virtue of that agreement government property, so they can do with you as they wish. Just saying. And by the way, I have no objections to if they want to. Well, it's going to sound really smug, but if they experiment on the cops too, that's fine. Just saying, me. But hey, police got to be exposed to the public, right? And you want to see if it works.
True. That's true because they are around them too.
Mm-hmm.
They sure are. They sure are.
Now, I may have a different reason for thinking that than Uncle does, but still, it's a valid point, right?
Well,
makes sense.
It's just to say that we got helpers that are trying to help the people. We have others that help the traffic. all the people, the cause.
Most people are trying to help. Correct. I completely agree with that. It's always worthwhile to wonder and to analyze whether those efforts are actually helping or hurting everybody generally. And I feel like there's not enough skepticism, generally speaking, when it comes to just that line of thought, where it's very difficult to take that leap and go like, you know what, all those things that we thought we were doing so great, maybe we're not doing so good. You know, like, it's just, I don't know. That's generally, I think, where certainly.
Aaron, what's it, and Uncle, what's it like in California right now? Because I, it seems now in New York, they're I know we're getting serious, but now they've shut down all the schools here, and it seems like they're just, it could be kind of back to how it was at the beginning.
It's about that. It's about that point.
Yeah,
it was at the color purple for a while.
The color system.
And what I'm hearing from it now is it's gonna be.
It's back to what it was at the beginning.
What it was in the beginning.
It's going back.
It's going back to the beginning, but it's gonna be a while before it gets, like I said, better before it gets worse. Worse before it gets better.
It's going back to as it was.
Just like I was saying before.
Which to me, I have my own thoughts and my own experiences on the way it was anyway. That makes me go, okay, back to that. Oh, great! And like, I'm way safer now, and it's actually like redundant in that like I will end up seeing more people than ever because of this.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. There is another point that I forgot to mention, that they are thinking of putting a time span on the hours to be out.
Yes, curfews.
And
yes,
curfew,
correct.
Curfew, that's the word.
There's.
But I mean, what's going to happen to your job though? Sidekick.
There's 10 p.m. curfews. They shut down things like earlier than usual for what that's worth.
I mean, you're out there until like what, 7, 8?
Yeah, I mean, I don't
11
know.
o'clock. I mean, I'm just saying your time hours.
The thing is, they do these shutdowns, right? But it's not like even a total shutdown. Like certainly the grocery store is still open, and people are like, people are in the grocery store more than ever, and it's like a crazier environment than ever because the shelves are getting cleared out. That's what happened at the beginning. It'll happen again. And people are all on edge. People are worried. They're trying to get their supplies. Other people, they're fighting other people for them. So it devolves into like that whole situation. And I just expect it's going to probably be that again. We're going to have to deal with that. I mean, is that how it is in New York too, Pearse?
It hasn't quite been like that yet, although it feels like it's kind of in the ether. I mean, people are talking about it. Like I said, I mean, the mayor's just shut down the schools, and I've noticed a little bit just certain things like at like the food co-op that we are members of. Just there have been it feels a little bit like some of those like weird like supply chain interruptions. Like recently we had no bananas, and then they were sort of back. So if there's a little bit of that, but yeah, I mean, the numbers are going up. Obviously everyone here is sort of thinking a bit like that's going to happen again. I mean, in a way I'm sort of like, it's going to get cold here. So that's going to limit people being outside anyway. So I think that's sort of good.
Yeah, but you know what's odd about that, Pearse? Just really quickly, because you guys got just a little under 20 minutes left. I just want to drop in that Georgia is not doing shutdowns, and yet there are supply chain problems. Like toilet paper is again a rare commodity in my area, and weird stuff like that. Certain canned vegetables and things are gone, and yes, indeed, fresh produce is hit or miss. It wasn't great here to begin with, but now it's like really, really bare. So, again, it's got nothing to do with the shutdowns. And believe me, our governor's way different than yours.
I know. I think you're right. I think it's just people they know. You know, like they begin to sense it. And it's like
exactly.
Well, we got to buy up all the toilet paper.
Yeah, it's like they sort of sensed and are trying to get ahead of the rush right now, which is weird here and there and in a bunch of places in between. So I don't know if the left coast feels that way or it's looking that way, but it is definitely like this all up and down the East Coast.
The bars are also shut down.
Yeah, see, the bars and restaurants here are still going, and I have a couple of good friends that work in the restaurant industry, you know, cooking and bartending, and
nice.
You know, they're nervous too, because most of those, I mean, a lot of those places have just all shut down. They've all gone out of business.
Yeah, see, that's another thing you got to tell Uncle, though, is that you're not on a full wide open with the bars and stuff being open because you're on this 10 policy, right? Where it's like 10 people.
Yeah, I mean, none of the bars around us are even really like. There is no like, as far as I know, there's still no like indoor dining, in bars or restaurants. So now they've all constructed these like outdoor areas that are now, because it's getting cold, have been, you know, sort of sealed off. So they're basically indoor.
What's going to happen in my New Evolution? There isn't going to be many people in the New York area there where you are, Pearse.
Well, no, I don't. Well, I don't know.
In there. I mean, unless they're, of course, crazy.
We will have the video with a live feed of Times Square, and we will see for ourselves on the Revolution what's going on there in real time.
Yeah, see, I believe they're going to do a virtual ball drop. I saw some announcement. Pearse might know more about it because
I did not see that. I'll try to look that up.
Yeah, you should, because I mean there will be a video to watch, guys, but it may not be live feed from Times Square. Just saying.
That's what I mean.
No. The live feed will be going no matter what, and it will reveal who is actually there, which I find fascinating. They have video cameras mounted at various places in Times Square on different buildings and whatnot. You got different angles.
Well, no, I get it, but if they disallow gatherings and don't do the ball drop.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
It might be an empty Times Square, which is interesting in and of itself to see the live feed of that.
Well, fair enough, but maybe no ball drop, too. It might be only on the virtual channel. Or maybe they'll, you know, Photoshop it in or whatever, or, you know, After Effects it in or whatever. I don't know. You know. But I was reading about that, and I was like, wow, because, you know, there's no Thanksgiving Day parades.
No,
right.
That's out. Yes. That's definitely out.
Got it. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, you got a mass of people.
Well, and then all the Thanksgiving is going to suck too. I mean, we're just doing it here. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, You're not supposed to even go see your family. You're supposed to.
No. I mean, my parents are not far from where Amy and I live, and I mean they're like 10-minute walk, and I mean we'll probably walk over, but we're not going to have dinner together.
Sure. Yeah. There's going to be mostly that, and I mean I'll just say in terms of the Revolution, you're not going to be able to go anywhere anyway. So listen
you
live.
Might as well. Yeah, I think you're going to have a lot of traffic.
That's the next question was coming up. You hit it too. I was going to say, being that this year was so down for with people staying in the house,
yes,
we are going to be loaded down with calls.
We should be.
So, Chuck, you better get ready.
Get ready.
Have those lights lit up, because I know that would be doing that.
It should be very good. I'm preparing it. As I said, I've been preparing since October, getting some graphics ready, getting some special videos ready.
The calls is what's important, though.
The calls. Oh, yeah, you got to have the calls.
The calls will come in, and that will go absolutely crazy for people talking.
Yeah, I need to contact everybody we've had on the show this year and invite them. Be like, here, come on the show. We've got.
I'm sure even if they probably will.
We've got the spoken word battle part 2 between Chuck and Seth the Poet scheduled. I saw Seth today. He's very excited about that.
You did?
Yep. So we'll have that. We'll have just again. I think a lot of the people we had on this year will end up calling. We get good engagement there. Lots of calls because nobody's gonna be doing anything, so they'll have to join the revolution. They'll be forced to become revolutionaries.
I think they yeah, that's the point.
We're going to force them into it.
No, they're going to temply do it themselves. Hey, this is bored. Let's get on the phone. Ding.
Yep. I guess it isn't force at all. It's quite the opposite. It's just
that's my point I was saying. Yeah. And it's going to be like that.
It's going to be good.
All right, everybody on the phone. We can't do anything else. Psh.
And actually, I have like a theme. This year is the first, I think, to officially have like a theme to it. So I don't want to reveal exactly what that is yet. But yeah, you're going to want to tune in to see what the theme is. It will be abundantly clear from the very beginning what that is.
On my book, I was thinking on my broadcast, we even know the little guys might be up a little late this year.
The little guys will be up?
I think I will have him on my broadcast.
Yeah.
I mean, because I want not the kids to be on it. Yeah. Like I said to you,
we can do that.
I want it for the kids.
It's for the kids. It's all about them.
So I want to have...
it's always been about the kids.
So set up your things when we set them up. About another 2.
Uncle,
so
I believe the children are the future.
I know. This is why I'm trying to get them to know doing this.
Teach them well, and they will lead the way.
Doing. This is what I'm trying.
That's what you've been doing?
That's what I've been trying to do, but we have to set it up. Okay. When you set it up.
All right,
I'm just letting you set them up.
Set it and forget it. There. Okay, well, I think we're nearing the end of the show, so I think before we get too further, let's do shout-outs here. Are we all ready for this? Pearse, are you ready to do a shout-out now, or would you prefer we do first?
Maybe you guys could start first.
Okay. I have a good one. I'm going to shout out to Random Death Metaler, who is in the chat room. And earlier we were talking about that crazy avatar he's using. And he said in the chat, this is him typing, he said, "My avatar is a mask I made with a brown paper bag, a Sharpie, and some whiteout, and a helmet I picked up on the side of the road and painted up." So that's what that insanity is. It's a weird mask he made, which is... It's quite scary, but it's very cool too. So shout out to Random Death Metaler and his homemade mask. I appreciate the creativity. So that's my shout out for the night. Oh, and also I'll shout out to Rod and Denise of the Party People. We got your letter here. I'm not going to read it on here, but thank you for your kind letter. We got your stickers. Thank you, Denise, for those. And shout out also to Ed for sending a postcard again too. So those are my shout outs for the night.
Oh, we didn't even get to read them.
Yeah, I'll have to read them to you off air here, Uncle. There's a lot going on here, but
sure does.
Do you want to give some shout outs, Uncle?
Shout out to the nice people that have also listened to my show and knowing it's getting up there. I appreciate everybody that have been calling in and that does call in. And another shout out to the your past camp, past your what is that?
To my what is it? What's it do?
For the dollar penny.
Patreon.
Oh, Patreon. Yes, thank you, everybody.
For the Patreon.
Thank you for joining Patreon.
And the other people, you know who you are.
You know who you are.
Yeah, them people.
Thank you, everybody, for all of that. We do appreciate it. You make the show possible. Yeah. And without further ado, Pearse, I know you got some good shout-outs there. You got shout out to?
I've got a really big shout-out to my friend Songmin Che, who helped me earlier with my bitrate issues and streaming. So, and he has helped me out on many occasions. So yeah, big shout out to Songman as always. Also a big shout out to Richard, who, and I'm not going to give his last name, but he was also helping me a lot with the streaming issues. So Richard, if you're listening to this, you know who you are. Thank you so much. And I guess I think that might be it specifically for my shout outs. And also just shout out to you, Aaron, for asking me to come on the show earlier. I've had just such a great time on and to you as well, Uncle. Just a really good time on both shows tonight.
Great. Well, we're very happy to have you here, and we thank you for coming on because it did help immensely. So thank you for being here, Pearse. And of course, your website is porkinspolicyreview.com. You're at Porkins Policy on Twitter. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
What else?
And then just patreon.com/Pearse Redmond. And also, I was looking this up after our last conversation, but Black Dog, it seems like it's only available to rent on YouTube. But
really? That's it?
I couldn't find it streaming anywhere else. But I mean, I'm more than willing to buy it on YouTube if we have to.
We might have to review that one.
Yeah, I would really. Dog? Yeah, I would love to do a little review of that.
That would be worthwhile.
Mr. Meatloaf.
Yeah.
And you know what? We might have to do a follow-up. There is a film with Meatloaf as the main star called Black Top, where I think he plays like a serial killer.
Really?
I haven't heard that one.
Is it related to Black Dog, or is it?
I don't think so, but I remember I was Googling like. I didn't know it was like, I said like Meatloaf trucker, and I don't know. I think there might be like a trucking theme in the film Black Top. I don't know. We have to look that up.
My face and Top Gun is flying in the air. Whenever that comes.
Sure is.
Oh,
we know about that.
Well, we know that.
2021.
Yeah, it's bound to happen then. It's got to.
It's got to come out then. I mean, there's no way around it.
Yeah, and when it does, boy, is it going to be a sensation.
But is it still going to be in the movie theater, or is it going to be...
That will be fascinating to see.
That's the question.
It will be.
That'd be the main question.
I can't wait to see how they distribute it. It's going to be...
I'm sure he's dying to release it, though.
Tom Cruise?
He is dying to release it, but I know he can't.
He's probably... I want to imagine he's on the phone every day just yelling at people.
Yeah, I know he is.
He definitely loses his temper. I can picture him yelling.
Oh, God, yes. I bet he spends a good portion of his day doing that.
Just berating his assistant.
Yeah, belittling.
Yeah.
All those great things.
A quick question about Meatloaf on all this stuff, though. I mean, is he better in these films than he was in Fight Club? Because I got to tell you, I was pleasantly surprised by his acting chops in Fight Club.
Yeah. His name is Robert Paulson.
That's right.
Yeah, his character was awesome in that. I did like that.
I just looked it up. In Black Top, the 2000 Canadian made-for-television thriller film that also stars Kristen Davis of Sex and the City fame, Meatloaf plays a deranged serial killer who is, in fact, a trucker. So that might be like an unofficial sequel to Black Top. Sorry,
nice.
to Black Dog.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be with all of those weird descriptions of the film. I could see them kind of like going for that. So who knows? Yeah, I definitely think finding Black Dog, watching it, and doing a review is worthwhile. So we'll put that on the list of projects to complete. So we'll be back here and do that at some point. But yeah, again, Pearse. We do have a couple minutes here. We can't end it quite yet, but we're nearly there. Uncle, what have we missed? No, we're missing something.
The regular talk shows.
Regular talk shows. I feel like you and I are in a good spot now after...
what we could talk about is one of my my shows that family thinks, for one, maybe, to kill the time.
Oh, wait, you're talking about from this show?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the clips from Daily Life?
Yeah.
There will be more of them coming up. I know I've promised them. I haven't delivered them yet, but they are coming on shows soon. So you should keep listening to Uncle the Broadcast to hear those clips. Probably, maybe, with some where we're yelling at each other in our family. It's very possible that could be included in the clips.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say you two sound a lot better as far as getting along now toward the end here. So You know, it sounds
Big
like a little bit
improvement.
of conflict resolution there, Pearse. What do you say?
I would, I would tend to agree.
All right.
I feel good about that. But yeah, Uncle, I think now we actually are at the end. So bring us on home here.
It's the show. Bye-bye.
The music must be playing.
Just